What is up, Flick fans, and welcome back to my channel. This weekend, I was finally able to finish episodes 5 through 8 of The Defenders.
The only way out of here is together.
It's just a city. You'll get used to watching them fall.
Danny, light it up.
If you guys have not downloaded the Stardust app, it is an app where you can literally review and react to movies and television shows and trailers. It is so awesome. If you don't have it, download it, follow me, make a profile like you do on Facebook, and you can literally just pick any movie or television show to react to. It's so much fun. Please get on there and please follow me. It's a lot of fun when you can review movies that you can't do on YouTube because it just takes too long. All right, guys, you know the spiel. If you saw my first video, I talked about episodes 1 through 4. This one, I'm going to hit on episodes 5 through 8 a little bit more in depth than I did the first 4, and how I think it ended a little bit stronger than it began. First, let's talk about what I liked. So if you guys recall, in my last video, I talked a little bit about how the series started off on a really slow note. Episodes 1 and 2, it took me a little bit to get into it, but they started to kick off. Episodes 5, 6, 7, and 8, every single episode is packed with something that is action-filled. And these fight scenes are absolutely brutal and awesome and very well choreographed, and I really liked the way that these fights, overall, I had some nitpicks here and there, but overall, the way that they were handled. And I talked about the dynamics in episodes 1 through 4, and I thought those just became stronger. Now, Iron Fist is very interesting for me. As I have said before, I have always had a problem with his character. I've always had a problem with how he's this little self-centered douchebag little kid who thinks he's all that. I am the immortal Iron Fist. He continues to say that. Well, he continued to say that because in these episodes, I believe his character was able to flourish more. He is really the guy who wants to bring this team together. He's kind of like the Flash in Justice League, the animated series. A little bit douchey, but he's really funny. And you know what? I really enjoyed his character. While I still think he's the weakest link of the team, I enjoyed him more than I have before, more than his individual series, and that is saying a lot. And I think what would be even cooler is if they matched him up with Luke Cage, because I thought their dynamic really worked, especially in the scenes where it was just Luke and Iron Fist when Iron Fist was being held captive. Same with Daredevil and Jessica Jones. I really, they might be my favorite duo in the entire series. And overall, I think the characters really found their footing from episode 3 on. Now, if you are watching this, then you most likely have watched the entire series, so I'm going to give a spoiler alert. Now, I never really do this, but I figured since we're talking in depth and I want to give you guys a little bit more info than I gave in my last video, we're going to talk a little bit of spoilers. So I enjoyed episode 5. We got some pretty solid fight scenes. That transitions us into episode 6. This is the episode that I like to call the This Gets Real episode, and it got really real when Stick and Alexandra both bit the dust. Now, this is something that I did not expect personally. Both of these deaths caught me off guard, especially Alexandra, because she was the main villain of the series, sort of, and she was a very imposing threat, and I was kind of upset because we never really got to see what she could do. Now, we knew that she was an imposing threat, but we never got to see her full potential, and for that, I was a little bit upset, but overall, I can say her character was good. It just didn't pay off in the way that I wanted to, but I believe that was the writers and the director's intentions, was to make Elektra the overtaking leader of this situation, and for that reason, it worked, although I did have issues with it. I should be saving this for bad, so it's kind of bad. Now, if we're talking about good, I'm going to spin it back in a good direction. The 3-on-3 fight in episode 7, I thought the 3 fingers of the hand versus the 3 defenders that weren't Iron Fist, because of course he was being held captive and fighting Elektra at the time. I thought episode 7 was really good for that reason alone. There's some stuff in the police station that I could have done without, but overall I thought that really worked, and it leads us into the finale that I thought was a very good payoff for this series. Okay, so we're talking bad now. I'm going to spin it back around to the whole Alexandra and Stick thing. Like I said, I wanted her character to pay off a little bit more. And the Stick death, while it was really good and handled super well, I expected expected it. As soon as Stick joined the team, I knew somebody had to die. I knew it wasn't going to be one of the 4 defenders. Even when Daredevil died, I knew he wasn't dead. I think everybody knew he wasn't dead, so I'm not going to fault him on that because I do believe that that was their intentions was, oh, he's still alive, of course. It was just to give the team something to mourn over. I understand that, but I think Stick was just so obvious to me. It didn't fall flat because I loved the way that he was taken out. It just fell flat in the way of, oh, I saw that coming. And another big negative that really struck me was this big threat of the Battle of New York was preached about from Daredevil Season 1 by Stick. This was just not a climactic battle. While it worked really well for this series, it didn't work for what they've been setting up for so long. I just wanted more stakes with that plot line, but I thought what the Defenders were up to really worked because I liked the whole plot line with the villains of, oh, we need to be immortal, blah, blah, blah. I thought that worked. I just don't think they capitalized on the battle for New York, so I hope that that wasn't the Battle of New York, and that's something that's going to be saved for maybe a future Defenders season. And as I said, great fight choreography, great fights, but there are some moments when there are fights going down, and I understand they don't have the biggest budget in the world, but it gets so dark at times, and you can barely tell what's going on. Guys, I'm just nitpicking at this point. Overall, I had a lot of fun with the Defenders. I really did, and while I wasn't as invested in the first couple of episodes as I wanted to be, like I said, it got better. It ended on a fairly strong note, not the strongest note in the world, because I thought it really peaked in the mid-season when all of these amazing fight scenes and all of these amazing combinations were going down. But I really enjoyed this series, and it was definitely better than Iron Fist, and it was definitely better than Luke Cage, although I love the first 7 episodes of Luke Cage. But the Defenders, guys, I'm going to go ahead and rate this. I'm going to go 78%, okay? Now, a lot of people are going to be like, oh, Austin, you went too high because of all the problems with the plot. And guys, I just had so much fun with this series, and I loved seeing all of these characters together on screen. I don't care if it's too high for you. If you disagree with me, please comment below and let me know your thoughts. But if you agree with me, comment below and tell me why. I just want to start a conversation, but I really did enjoy the Defenders, and I think 78 is a very solid score. Not quite what I was hoping for, but, you know. Be on the lookout for so many movie reviews this week, guys. I've watched a lot of movies. I have a lot of stuff to talk about. You guys are the absolute best. Thank you for liking, subscribing, and commenting, and I will catch you later.